Antayin po muna natin ang resulta ng MR. Para sa amin, hindi pa po tapos yung laban.
Again, accountability is something that we should face head on.
Are you truly for accountability or simply anti-Duterte? Do you truly respect and want to preserve the Constitution or you simply hate the Vice President? Are you serving the nation's interest or protecting and pursuing your own personal ambitions or agenda? Are you fighting for truth or are you simply after revenge? Do you really want a trial or do you just want a conviction? Do you really believe that we are wrong? Or do you simply think and feel entitled and believe that you are always right?
Sa akin pong paniniwala, ito po ay, of course, again, with all due respect sa ating Korte Suprema, ay pag-overstep po sa power po, sa exclusive power po ng Kongreso to initiate impeachment complaints.
The Senate is not your playground to run after your political enemies. We are not an accomplice in any grand scheme. While others may be willing to play your game, I am not. I will never bow to a mob. I will never cower to the shrillest of voices.
We were pushing for Leni Robredo to be president noong 2022. Kasi we didn't have any choice. Ngayon, I don't want to go through that kasi may mga choices na ngayon.
Sino?
Yun lang naman yun.
Sino? Si Ontiveros?
Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa 2028, I'm not inclined to support Leni because magkaalyado at magkaibigan sila ni Sara Duterte. Yun po yun.
Magandang araw po sa inyo lahat mga kababayan. Kumusta po kayong lahat? Saan naman dako po kayo naroon? Sana nasa mabuti po kayong kalagayan. Lalong-lalo na po sa ating mga kababayang OFW sa iba't ibang panig ng mundo, mabuhay po kayong lahat. Dudo po kami sa inyong sipag, tatag at determinasyon para sa inyong pamilya at para sa bayan. At yun na nga mga kababayan, andito na naman po tayo sa ating panibagong reaksyon sa mga bago at may init na kaganapan dito sa ating bansa. At eto nga po, pag-usapan natin itong naging talumpati ni Senator Escudero. Kogri nga po ng kanya naging boto pagpabor para ma-archive itong impeachment complaint laban dito kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Napakaganda po ng naging paliwanag niya dito mga kababayan. Pero bago yan mga kababayan, eto mas matindi ito. Itong si dating Senator Antonio Trillanes may mga patutsada dito sa kanyang kaalyado na si dating Vice President Leni Robredo. Hindi natin alam kung anong kanilang laro dito mga kababayan dahil may mga birada ngayon may mga akusasyon ngayon itong si Trillanes dito kay dating Vice President Leni Robredo na keso kaibigan daw umano ito ni Vice President Sara Duterte. At malalim umano ang pagkakaibigan ng mga ito. At isa pa binanggit niya dito na kung sakali daw umanong nanalo itong si dating Vice President Leni Robredo nung nakaraang halalan na pagkapangulo hindi daw umano balak ipadala si dating Pangulong Duterte sa ICC. Pero matatanda natin mga kababayan, wala tayong naririnig na ganong pahayag o kahit anong statement patungkol doon na dahil alam naman natin na talagang kontra itong dating si Vice President Leni Robredo dito kay Tatay Digong. Hindi natin alam kung saan nanggagaling itong mga impormasyon na ito na sinasabi ni dating Senador Trillanes mga kababayan. At ipinagigitan nga niya dito na malalim umano ang pagkakaibigan ni Vice President Sara Duterte at saka ni Leni Robredo. Sinabi pa niya dito mga kababayan na sinuportahan lang umano niya itong si dating Vice President Leni Robredo nung nakaraang presidential election dahil wala umanong choice. Yan yung sinabi niya. Grabe, di ba? Kasamahan mo dati sa politika, kaalyado mo, tapos ngayon, eto na yung mga binibitaw niyang salita laban dito kay dating Vice President Leni Robredo. Panoorin po natin ang kanyang mga naging pahayag mga kababayan. Pero bago yan, kung bago ka pa lang dito sa ating channel, ay mag-subscribe ka na at i-click mo na din ang notification bell para maging updated ka sa mga susunod pa natin video. Paki-like at paki-share mo na rin ang video ito sa iba pa nating mga kababayan. At kung nais mong sumali sa ating community, ay click mo lang ang join button na makikita mo sa baba. Maraming salamat po.
Tapos, during the course of the campaign, sinabi nila na ang position nila sa ICC ay hindi nila i-recognize yung jurisdiction at hindi nila ibibigay si Digong sa ICC kung naging presidente si Leni. Ngayon,
grabe. Saan kaya nanggagaling ng mga sinasabi ni Trillanes mga kababayan?
in fact, as late as last year, nire-request yan sa akin nila Bam Aquino na baka daw kung pwede daw i-delay yung pag-issue ng arrest warrant kay Digong dahil baka daw makakaapekto sa kandidatura nila. In fact, sabi ko nga, hindi, mas makakatulong pa nga sa inyo yan. Kasi, kumbaga, kayo magbe-benefit nun. Pero, talagang merong alyansa sila eh. Then eventually, during the campaign noong 2022, nakita ko yung Rosa, alam niyo yung Rosa, Robredo, Sara, na coalition. Na to the point na nung isang rally namin sa Pangasinan, hindi nila pinaakyat si then VP candidate Kiko Pangilinan sa entablado. Kasi nga dun sa Robredo Sara Alliance. So meron ng ganon ever since. So yun naman ang konteksto nun. At nailabas yan dun sa conversation in light of the making the Dutertes accountable. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa 2028, I'm not inclined to support Lenny because magkaalyado at magkaibigan sila ni Sara Duterte. Yun po yun.
Oo nga, you made some headlines for saying that, Senator, no? I mean, and you were also, I remember, quite vocal nung dinalaw ni Vice President Sara, si former VP Lenny Sanaga. We talked to you back then as well. Describe this friendship for me. I mean, like, all politicians are friends naman. Magkakakilala naman lahat ng politicians. But how deep does this friendship go, do you think?
Palagay ko malalim. And in fact, we have aside dun sa mga sinipe ko na historical mga incidents na yan, ito, no, up to now, si Mayor Lenny has yet to say anything about the impeachment trial of Sara Duterte. Alam mo, malakas na boses yan.
Ikaw naman nananahimik na yung mayor dun sa Bicol gusto mo pang makialam sa sa away dito sa national.
Si Lenny, pero she's quiet. Tapos yun na nga, yung binisita doon. Alam nyo, based sa information namin, yung pagbisita doon sa Naga, maagang na-set yun. Hindi naman yun yung 30 minutes na short notice. Kumaga, naman tayo, ginagawa tayong parang bata. Alam natin yon. Tapos talagang he knows niya. And ako, bilang insider doon sa mga pink, talagang alam namin na may mga ganun sila nagalaw. Sabi ko nga, we're not born yesterday. Alam natin ito. Saka, alam ni in fact nagma-micromanage yan si Lenny sa kampanya noon. She will just feign ignorance para may deniability. Kaya kung nga sinight yung ginawa dun sa mga leftists noon na ang name drop, ako ang may ayaw. Pero hiningi niya yon. Sinabi niya yun sa akin na ako yung gagamitin niya.
Grabe, no? Biruin mo yung dating kapartida mo, kasamahan mo at sinusuportahan mo sinusuportahan niya sa politika, tapos ngayon ito na yung kanyang mga berada dito kay Mayor Lenny na dating Vice President Lenny Robredo. Ano pa kaya yung mga talagang ayaw niya, mga katunggali niya talaga sa politika? Kung yun ngang mga kasamahan niya dati ganyan niya itrato yun pa kayang mga kalaban niya talaga.
So kumbaga meron siyang ganong mga taktika para makuha niya yung mga kumbaga best of so many worlds, kumbaga. Pero alam niya yon. Siya yun meron lang kasi ang karamihan sa inyo, meron kayong image of Lenny Robredo as somewhat parang pristine na pagkatao na naive sa politika. No, alam niya yung mga taktika na ganyan. By the way, that doesn't make her a bad person. Ang sinasabi ko lang, meron siyang mga ganong laro. Alam niya yung mga ganyang laro ng politika.
Pero Senator, parang hindi siya tumatama. Kasi, alam din naman natin how Rodrigo Duterte treated her nung Vice President siya. And medyo matindi yung sa kanya yung ginawa din sa kanya, no? And parang hindi yan it doesn't
Wala namang matindi, madam. Hindi nga pumayag si dating Pangulong Duterte na i-impeach si na ituloy yung paghain ng impeachment dito kay dating Vice President Leni Robredo. Pinigilan niya yun. Hindi katulad nung ngayon na wala daw siyang magagawa.
Jai, what happened to her under the Duterte presidency? Ano naman yung masasabi niyo sa ganyang mga observation?
Ito po, she was maligned by Duterte, the father, but she never fought back, di ba? Hindi naman niya, she never made accountable yung itong mga tao. At pinag-uusapan po natin dito si Sara. Kasi yan po ang palaging argumento. Siya naging biktima rin siya doon. Yes, pero hindi naman siya tumindig. Tapos, pero si Sara, ang pinag-uusapan ho natin, iba ang kanilang samahan at dun sa
Bakit ba takot na takot kayong maging presidente si Vice President Sara? Anong meron?
sa tatay. Yun po yan. And may mga sinight po ako ng mga incidents para nga to prove my case. At alam ko po yan, sinabi sa akin yan yung hindi pagbigay kay Duterte sa ICC because yun daw magiging policy nila. Yun po yun.
Sir, did they say...
Pero may background ba yan? Yung friendship niya with well, it looks like a friendship the way you describe it. May background ba yung friendship ni Mayor Lenny with Sara Duterte?
Meron po.
Parang wala kasi...
Okay, ganito po. I-google nyo na lang po. Leni Robredo, Sara Duterte,
Ayan, nasa Google pala yung background ha. I-Google nyo.
friendship, beyond politics. I-google nyo. May mga articles about that. So kumbaga, ako bilang insider, hindi naman ako magsasalita ho ng ganito na parang ano purpose ko nito? I'll be fabricating this information. Sana ho kumbaga bigyan naman ako ng konting credit na wala akong ganong history.
Maybe not so long ago, you were pushing very hard for a Leni Robredo presidency, and now you've been hitting her the last several months, if not, it's been a year. What happened in between?
Okay, ganito po. We were pushing for Leni Robredo to be president noong 2022. Kasi we didn't have any choice.
Grabe, no? Biruin mo yun. Pinupush daw nila si Leni Robredo dahil walang choice. Wala silang choice. Ibang klase ka, ha?
Yung incumbent vice president, tapos wala pang mga ganitong mga incidents, no? Nagsimula lang naman yun, yung mga sinasite ko na mga ganyang mga taktika during the campaign period na. Pero having gone through that, yung kanyang pag-vacillate nung
Parang sinabi niya dito, walang-wala na ito na lang, pwede na to. Parang ganun no choice daw
pag-decide that whether to run or not, I look at that as somewhat irresponsible, di ba? Ngayon, I don't want to go through that kasi may mga choices na ngayon.
Sino?
Yun lang naman yun.
Sino? Si Ontiveros?
Nothing against Leni Robredo. Sabi ko nga, she's a good person and under peaceful conditions, she would probably be a good president. But we're not living in such a world. We're living in a very dangerous world now. Kaya kailangan natin yung tumitindig. At syempre, kailangan natin yung hindi kaibigan yung mga Dutertes.
Ayun, yun lang yun. Sa Duterte pa rin ang balik mo. Dahil ayaw mo lang talaga sa mga Duterte.
At kung ina-arbor pa lang nila, before pa lang na nakapwesto, lalo na siguro pag nakapwesto na.
Sabi nila, forthwith ang sinabi sa Senado, ibig sabihin yan agad-agad. Despite the rulings of the Supreme Court that say it is within a reasonable time. Pero doon na tayo sa agad-agad. Sabi ng rules ng House, dapat i-refer ng SecGen immediately sa Speaker. 2 buwan bago niya ginawa yon. Okay lang sa kanila. Di naman sila nagreklamo. Immediately po ang gamit, hindi forthwith. Sabi naman ngayon ng Korte Suprema, immediately executory. Ay, teka lang. Hintayin muna natin. Hindi pa final. Kapag ka-convenienteng gamitin yung mga salita pabor sa posisyon nila, edi okay lang. Kapag ka hindi naman, ay hindi rin. Hindi po ganun dapat yon. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, kinondena din ng ilang legal luminaries tulad ng Philconsa na dating pinangunahan ng nanguna sa impeachment complaint na si Speaker Romualdez, ilang taon lamang ang lumilipas, na hindi daw, bagong requirement daw ang due process. Dagdag daw ito. Mr. President, Your Honors, they should read Francisco again. They forgot that lack of due process in the impeachment process had been raised and in fact was specifically mentioned in the separate concurring opinions. And allow me to quote the concurring opinion of Justice Panganiban. The due process clause enshrined in our fundamental law is a condition sine qua non that cannot be ignored in any proceeding, administrative, judicial, or otherwise. It is deemed written into every law, rule, or contract, even though not expressly stated therein. Hence, the House rules on impeachment, insofar as they do not provide the charged official with number 1, notice, and number 2, opportunity to be heard prior to being impeached, are also unconstitutional. Needless to say, the due process limitation on the impeachment process was already discussed in Francisco. May pumalag ba nun? Wala. Yung nagre-reklamo ba ngayon kaugnay sa bagong requirement yung due process, nag-react? Nung sinulat ito at naging bahagi ng Francisco ruling, hindi ko rin po napansin. Sinabi din po ng ilang legal luminary, partikular binanggit din ito ni Speaker Romualdez. When the court begins to create rules on how it and other high officials may be impeached, it risks writing the terms of its own immunity. This point was also discussed in Francisco. Ang sabi ng korte nito, illogical ito at non-sequitur. Alalahanin po natin. Hula lamang yung gagamitin din ito pabor sa kanila. Sa kaso ng Francisco, nakaupong Chief Justice ang nasasakdal. Pero sinabi mismo ng korte, hindi bale yan. Hindi namin pinapaboran ang kabaro namin sa pagbaba namin ng desisyong ito. Mr. President, the Constitution establishes a system of checks and balances, not a system of retribution. Threatening the Supreme Court with impeachment simply because one disagrees with the ruling is a dangerous assault on our constitutional order. The Senate, Mr. President, stands ready to uphold the integrity of the Constitution as well as the institutions created under it. My dear colleagues, we are told that to honor the court's ruling is to betray the truth, that by choosing fidelity to the law, we somehow abandon accountability, but nothing for me could be further from the truth. To disregard the ruling would not only defy the Constitution, it would drag the nation into a crisis it can ill afford. It would erode the authority of our laws, embolden those who believe they are above it because they know it all or simply know better. To those seeking to disregard the Supreme Court's decision, I ask these simple questions, Mr. President. Again, in light of the Francisco ruling on former Chief Justice Davide, and it was okay then because they did not want then Chief Justice Davide to be impeached. Are you truly for accountability or simply anti-Duterte? Do you truly respect and want to preserve the Constitution or you simply hate the Vice President? Are you serving the nation's interest or protecting and pursuing your own personal ambitions or agenda? Are you fighting for truth or are you simply after revenge? Do you really want a trial or do you just want a conviction? Do you really believe that we are wrong or do you simply think and feel entitled and believe that you are always right? Remove the name, Mr. President, of the Vice President in this case. Apply the decision of the High Court, as Senator Cayetano said earlier, to another impeachable official. Would your positions be the same? When I was faced with this situation, Mr. President, I respected the court's decision, even if I disagreed with it. I am still voting to respect that court's decision. As quoted at the start of my speech, Mr. President, the dispensation of justice over the course of time should be unaffected, whomsoever stood to benefit or suffer therefrom. The courts should be unafraid of whatever imputations or speculations could be made against it by those disagreeing. I will not cast a vote that says complying with the Supreme Court ruling is optional. Anyone who will say I will respect the Supreme Court today and condemn it tomorrow, is not showing fidelity to the Constitution. It is submission to the passions of the day, to the shifting winds of public sentiment that may or may not be just. Fidelity to the Constitution, Mr. President, must prevail even when it is unpopular, inconvenient, or misunderstood. In fact, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, it must prevail especially when it is unpopular, when it is inconvenient, and misunderstood. Finally, Mr. President, let today's verdict be a stern and unequivocal warning to anyone who would dare use the Senate for their personal battering ram to further their personal political ambitions. To the House of Representatives, I say, do not allow yourselves to be used for the blind hatred and ambition of a few who did things haphazardly, gravely abused their discretion, and violated due process rights under the Constitution as found by the High Court itself. In spite of all these, you expect everyone to roll over in obedience. When we did not, you moved hell and high water to destroy personalities, malign reputations, and tarnish institutions. To these people, I say this. The Senate is not your playground to run after your political enemies. We are not an accomplice in any grand scheme. While others may be willing to play your game, I am not. I will never bow to a mob. I will never cower to the shrillest of voices. Let history, Mr. President, record that in this moment, we chose the Constitution. We chose the rule of law by defending the integrity of the Supreme Court and maintaining the system of checks and balances under our Republican system of government. Let this chamber be remembered, not for the passions we inflamed, but for the principles we upheld. I vote yes to the motion, Mr. President. I vote yes to the rule of law, yes to the Constitution, yes to the supremacy of the Supreme Court in interpreting it. Thank you, Mr. President.